Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com. In this video, I'm checking out Boblin's Rebellion. And yes, I did say Boblins. I did not say goblins. Boblin's Rebellion. Bob with a B. It's Boblin's Rebellion. I'm assuming that this Boblin with the crown on, that might be very hard to see. I guess that's Boblin, and I think it's Boblin. I feel comfortable in thinking that that's Boblin, but I mean, for all I know, I might be Boblin. I don't know. Boblin's Rebellion is a 1 to 4 player engine building game. Yeah, let's go with that. Engine building game designed by Alexandros, Kapidakis. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. With art from Gong Studio, and is being published by. Boblin's Rebellion is published by Phase Shift Games. The interesting thing about Boblin's Rebellion is the way in which you kind of build out your abilities and your engine. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, this is admittedly sort of a 2/3 player setup for Boblin's Rebellion. We're gonna have the various types of cards. You have the mines, ice caves, the inferno, and these are heroes help. So, okay, so this is what everybody's player board would look like in the regular game. The advanced, I'll just show that in a second. You have 3 different actions you can take, and you can do 2 actions, but you can do the same action twice if you want to. So you can recruit, which means you would get 3 sticklers or 2 screamers. So if you look on this side, you can have up to 5 sticklers. Those are like the base goblins. And then you can have up to 3 screamers. And you're basically going to be training sticklers and screamers to become, you might be able to read, stalkers, slingers, stabbers, and sparklers. So you can recruit. You can conquer, meaning you choose any of the face-up rooms, and the cost for them is in the upper left-hand corner. And this game is an engine builder, so you're collecting these rooms, which have particular actions, and some of them will earn you points, like this Inferno room. It just costs any trained goblin, meaning it can't be a stickler. And then if you have a slinger, what's this other one? A slinger and a stalker and a screamer, you'd have to have all of them together. For every, I guess, set of those 3 that you give up, you get 5 points, 5 fame, and then you can use it until, a handful of times, and then that's it. But then once it gets destroyed, you would earn a sparkler. So this is an engine building game, but your engines are not permanent because the rooms have a finite number of times they can be used before they have to be destroyed. Like rooms normally are. I mean, that's a standard thing, right? You use a room and then it gets destroyed by you or some other force. And then your point tracker is actually on your board here. It goes left to right, and then 13 to 14 back over to 27. Whoever it's 27 points first wins the game. That's for the regular game and the solo mode. So in the more advanced game, you'll use the hero's help, in which case you are really destroying your engine, because with the hero's help, you are getting rid of 2 rooms, and then you can take the hero in, and they're worth X number of fame. And then they give you an action as well. And a lot of these actions are passive. Probably hard to see. It means if any player destroys an Inferno room, you get 2 sticklers. So that just aids with the engine building. You do have to give up other portions of your engine to use the heroes, but the heroes don't have an X number of times they can be used, which is interesting. It just costs you things you've already, rooms that you've already conquered. You have to weigh that out. And then there's also terrible trolls, and on the back, all the boards are double-sided. So this is the back side of it. You see it has the base level actions where you're conquering. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the other actions. You can take 3 cards from any one of the room stacks, pick one, and then conquer it and put it in front of you. So if you don't want any of the ones that are out, you can do that. And then, so these actions are the same as the base, pretty much. There is an exception here. You would take, for I guess the more advanced game, you would conquer a room, but then you'd also get a stickler. And if you see, there's a little green box. They're kind of all over the place. So as trolls come out, and those are slightly larger cubes than the generic ones. There's only one type of like cube, but you just put them in different areas so you know what they are. But the trolls are little hulks almost, with the anger and everything. When they come out, there's a benefit to having them, but they also block opportunity. So they can block up, a bunch of the places that you could put other, and like they could block the area you have to actually finish, to get the bonus when you finish, when you've used up a room. So they can do all types of things. So it's a trade-off there. Like they have a benefit, but then they can also really get in the way. And it costs you something to get rid of them as well. So that's why I said this is a quasi 3-player. It's it's fine. So the rules say that the first player is someone who actually is the last person to destroy something. Okay, that's all right. That's a way of dealing with it. So let's say the player on the right here. I'm just gonna play with the base so the trolls can kind of hang out of frame over here. So this player on their turn, you don't have anything yet, so you can't really conquer any rooms because you don't have anything. So I'm going to recruit. I'm gonna get 3 sticklers, put them on my board, and then my second, I'll take the same action again and get 2 screamers. So you see it's a slash, so it's either you get 3 sticklers or 2 screamers. So those are my actions. So off to this player here, they're probably gonna do the exact same thing because why wouldn't they? So you gotta start building up so you can have a little something. Okay, back over to this player here. This is where you can start to do things. So like this card here, this card, and I think it is kind of unique to the Ice Cave cards, is they have passive abilities. So what this one means is if for every neighbor that I have to my left and my right that has a stalker, I can either get a stalker or get fame. So, and you can use that 3 times. So when you first get the card, you put the thing on it, but then, you can keep using it until you use it the last time and it's destroyed. What am I gonna do here? I'm going to conquer this room, so it's going to cost me a stickler, so I took 1 off there, and then that's that. Oh, also want to place cube side up, and you replenish what you have immediately. So this one allows me to spend 2 sticklers, and I will get 2 stabbers. Very useful. I can only do that 1, 2, 3 times. So my second action could technically be to exploit, which is to use one of your, basically use one of your cards, use your engine essentially. So I could use one of my cards to exploit. So for every 2 sticklers, I will get 2 stabbers. So I could just take these and I'll just put them down here. So they're now stabbers. I spent sticklers, and yeah. So I used it once, so this will move down as I get down to the point where I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Okay, back over to this player. Oh, and I was wrong about the plus. The plus just means you're augmenting, which is optional. So for this card, even it says a stickler can become a sparkler. You can basically turn a stickler into a sparkler. But for an additional action, you don't have to do this. I could take another action and then create, and then I could do a sparkler and a slinger if I wanted to. All right, so this player is gonna recruit this one. I'm sorry, conquer this. This just cost me 1 stickler, so this player recruited this card, and this is 2 sticklers to get. Oh, let me put one of these on here. I should just keep it on that. So it's gonna be 2 sticklers to become 2 sparklers. So just instead of putting them in the supply, just move them down, and there we go. And I used it, and that was both actions. So I conquered, and then I exploited. And that's how the engine building works. At a certain point, you're going to have a decent number of cards in front of you, and you'll have choices on what you want to do, and how you can build your engine is if you're coming towards the end on something, maybe it gives you another action, and then you can use that action to play another card. To you can kind of play them off of each other and kind of combo around and build a nice little system that won't last forever. But it's gonna be pretty dope while you got it. So. And then if you have enough cards and you really want to destroy things, but for a good opportunity, let's say maybe you're 2 points, you're 2 fame away from winning, and you just say screw it, and you hire a hero, and they come in and give you those last couple of points you need. I feel like they're all 2 points. So, and there's a bunch of them too. So. Varying, like the powers are very different, so yeah. Ooh, a gear goblin. So yeah, and the solo mode is similar in that the rightmost cards are going to be going away, I believe, every turn. So you're constantly there might be some good options in there, but they're going to be going away. So you're constantly figuring out. And you have a smaller set of cards, I believe. It's been a while since I played the solo, but it does work very similarly. But that's sort of your timer, in that you have fewer cards, and you're trying to hit your 27 points before the cards run out. So you're making decisions so you can hopefully be successful. So yeah, that is Boblin's Rebellion. So, yeah. Let me tell you how I feel about it. My deepest, innermost thoughts. Okay, so that was Boblin's Rebellion. I know a little bit more about it. I do like engine building games, and I think it's interesting that you build an engine, and upon building it, it has a certain lifespan. That as every time you utilize it, it gets closer and closer to having the room that you're building being dismantled. And I really like that. That keeps the game very interesting. It's very varied. The number of just things that you can do. On top of that, if you do play with the heroes, if you get rid of 2 of the same types or room types from your engine, from your tableau, then you're able to bring the heroes on and then gain more fame. It's like a trade-off. It's like, the times I play with the heroes, I feel like they were an end-game thing where I was kind of the point where, well, I can keep working at this engine so I can crank out some fame, or I can just get rid of 2 rooms right now and maybe get those last, 2 points, and then, get my way to victory. So, interesting trade-off there. But the game is very fun. The only downside I think to it, if I have to, I don't have to say one, but maybe downside is a bit hyperbolic. I think the only detractor is just, and the game does a good job. Like the rules spell out the iconography, what everything is, but even with that, there's still a lot of iconography. So it is one of those games that, and it's an engine building game, that kind of comes with the territory, that once you have to get over that hump of, looking at things and understanding what they mean, how they pertain to you right now, assuming they do it all. But you could say that's not a complaint necessarily, that's just the reality of this type of game where there's a lot of iconography, and until you get it, you'll kind of be referencing the back of the manual at home. What does that mean again? Until it clicks, but it will. It's not overly complicated, and I did not mention the intended age range. It's 8 and up, so it's not intended to be the most complex thing. And I think maybe for 8, 9, 10-year-olds, for the most part, maybe just playing with the base and not adding the more advanced side with the terrible trolls that are blocking things and keeping you from, training your goblins as efficiently as you might want to. But that's up to you. So yeah, I think it's a very fun game. It's a pretty small box, but I feel like there's a lot of fun to be had in this box. Like, a lot of fun to be had in this box, and it's a unique dungeon building game where you're building it, but the more you use it, the more some things are gonna fall off or or have to be, destroyed, because that's how things work. Things break. Things don't last forever, and neither do rooms in Boblin's Rebellion. So anyway, I like it. I dig. I think it's a fun engine building game with some neat kind of twists. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be blessed.